All right there now, y'all. It's your mans and them, the Toothless Wonder, reporting on the Bamboozled Again News Network. And I gotta, you know what? I tend to make my own rules. I believe, when people upload Facebook videos or whatever the case may be, they're coming from a place of knowledge, expertise in a particular area. You know what I mean? But it seemed like lately I hop on here and start asking y'all questions. Whatever, right? So I'll just get straight into it. So yesterday, I got my daughter a math tutor a couple towns over, right? So I takes my daughter to the math tutor. It's back road drive, but it's almost like 50 minutes away, right? Very seldom do I go to this particular town. And I can't even remember last time I've been there. Maybe when I was back in high school or something, playing sports or whatever. So we goes to the tutor, right? Get acquainted, This is my first time taking her, eyes to pappy, right? You know what I mean? So it's a couple of hours. So I run around, do some errands. I come back probably about a half hour before it's over, because I guess the guy in charge, he was coming from across the bridge. He wanted to meet me, touch base, whoop de whoop, show enough, right? So I come back, so I'm sitting on the couch, I guess the reception area, if that's what you want to call it. The kids in the back, whatever, whatever. Sitting there chilling, I'm playing Pinochle on my phone, right? You know what I mean? Hopping in off Facebook, whatever. And I think I have done a previous video about deja vu, but this one was different because typically deja vu, at least from my experience, like let's just say I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, I've been here before, or oh, I remember this scene, and then it's quickly gone, right? Maybe a second or two. You understand? This one was totally different. This one was I'm just sitting there playing Pinochle on my phone. I raise my head up to look around, and then I remember that I've been here before. And I've never been to this location. I've been here before, and the setting, the environment, like I recognize it. You know what I mean? And I remember sitting in this particular way. You know what I mean? But it was crazy because, according to the Matrix, when you have deja vu, it's a glitch in the Matrix, right? But this one was different because this lasted like five, I might be stretching a little bit, 5 to 7 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Of me being in this space of knowing I've been here before, even though I've never been there. The way I was sitting, the pictures on the wall were familiar all of a sudden. Like maybe I've seen it previously in a dream or something. But it was crazy because it was like I don't even know how to describe it. Like it was just it was almost like time froze. You know what I mean? And again, like I said, I've never been to this location, and I very seldom even come to this town, let alone this particular location. And for about a 5 to 7 second window, I had this overwhelming sense of familiarity, or that in the present moment I had done this before. So much so it made me remember. I remembered, and I remember feeling the exact same way. You know what I mean? Not just the setting or the environment, but also the feeling. I remember how I felt before, even though I never, you know what I'm saying? In this present moment, in this location I'd never been to. Now, I've never really been able to pick up any kind of insight as far as any scriptural validation for deja vu, but I know it's real. And but normally I experience it in like flashes. Like I might experience it like twice in say 3 weeks, and then nothing for let's say 9 months. But I don't know what it is. Maybe y'all can help me with some insight. But I've been going, maybe like a lot of you guys, been going on a lot of spiritual warfare. You know what I mean? A lot of uncertainty. Everything's been working out. You know what I'm saying? Been going deeper in the prayer and fasting and reading my word and checking my pride and my ego and in various situations that I've described on here before. Yeah, protect myself, this, that, and the third. But am I going about this the right way? You know what I'm saying? Am I going past the mark? You know what I'm saying? Now I'm all for practically protecting yourself. Well, even if someone has caused me pain, and then that feeling does kick, or mentally rather, where I want to X them out the game finally. Not on that other stuff, of course, right? But just set up parameters where they can no longer fool with me and da 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 da, right? But if I do that, I believe I will be going past the mark. So as far as I can tell, as of now, the situation has been steady. In good faith effort, kind of reminiscent of the New Breed Ringo situation where uh, I've extended, because now I hold all the trump cards per se. So out of respect for my daughter, because she would like to see this happen, I extended an olive branch that I'm willing to retract something that I've done that was ethical and legal, um, to give her time to do whatever the case may be, in the effort for us all to sit down and whoop the whoop the whoop. And I find it very, very coincidental, right? Now, I hold the cards to the solution of a problem that you say you got now that I've caused. Um, told my daughter to relay the message, you know what I'm saying? And I haven't heard nothing. So it makes me wonder, is the situation really what you're saying? Because I can't trust the person. But I'm like, is the situation really what you're saying it is? Because if it was that detrimental and the person who's wronged you, according to you, has a solution to the problem, wouldn't you want to sit down with them if they're saying that they're willing to do that? You know what I'm saying? So it makes me wonder, is the situation really what it is? Or are you just using that as, some type of manipulation, or, you were just overly emotional, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of time, from what I've seen, a lot of time, people who go around hurting people, when they get hurt, then they go just like, oh my, and put on this charade or this Oscar-worthy performance to garner sympathy, when actually, like, they just go around hurting people and, are unconcerned with how their actions affect others, so on and so forth. So I'm starting to wonder, is the situation really what you're saying it is, in light of the fact that I got the solution for you, extended an olive branch to protect myself from you, and then you never respond. But then I was thinking on the way back after, the deja vu moment and all that. I'm like, and then I'm thinking about the New Breed when he got together with, all, you know, live and this, that, and the third with, or the panel rather, with Ringo, Brainwaves, and Rallo. And the main person who is claiming all this hurt, and victimhood, had absolutely nothing to say to the man. Which even that situation to me doesn't hold weight. And then he used this like intellectual get out of jail free card, in which he used one of New Breed's talking points against him. Well, I don't know if it's against him, but saying you don't respond to demons. Okay, yeah, I get it. But in that particular instance, from you saying that the man disrespected your family and cursed your bloodline and this, that, and the third, wouldn't you, when you see the man in real time, wouldn't you want to be like, yeah, yo, even if you just, what I mean, just give it to him like on some you this, you that, and it becomes an argument? That would make more sense to me versus you just not saying nothing to the man, but then you go and tell the world that he's done you so wrong. See the person that's wronged you and don't say nothing. And then, but like Smokey said, but as soon as he leave, you'll be back talking. Even if you just want to let him know or get it off your chest, like, yo, cuz you, that would make more sense to me. But it just reminds me of this personal situation where I've extended this olive branch and they ain't biting. But you know what I think now? Now that I, have kind of, simmered down and woo woo woo, right? Not that I was super, rah rah or nothing, but just, emotions, various thoughts, so on and so forth. I think it's a guilt response. And I've seen people, and this particular individual as well, where they've done me so wrong, go to other people and say, I'm doing them wrong. You know what I mean? And then be in my presence and don't say nothing and can't look me in my face. I think it's a guilt response. And like I said, everything I've done, uh, that according to the other party has caused them, I'm causing them pain or discomfort financially or whatever the case may be, um, has been done through legal and ethical parameters. So it's not like somebody gonna come back on me or one of these, you know what I'm saying? Because what I'm saying is true and valid. You know what I mean? And then when I was attempting to come to a resolution, they just went ghost on me. Again, keeping me in the dark. And I don't like being on other people's time. Or when I tell the brothers, as best I can help it, I don't like having other people who are of low character having situational, uh what's the word I'm looking for? Like the situational upper hand on me. Because then, just like in this situation, I'm at the mercy of their timing, moving when they feel like it. You know what I'm saying? That don't work for me. You know what I'm saying? I still got to get the business done. So I went and handled that. But then when I handled that, now I'm the devil and whoop the whoop the whoop the woo. And you know what I'm saying? It was just like a whole lot of projection. Again, like I've covered in previous videos. I'm the devil and all this, but all this wild stuff been going on under your watch though. But I'm the devil. When I, put legal parameters in place to protect myself so I can keep myself moving forward. You know what I'm saying? And I think, and I've seen this as well, right? Where just in a general sense, let's say whatever the situation may be, and you come out from under people or you show them they don't have the power that they thought they had, it creates fear. Like, and I think, again, this is a guilt response because they made certain statements alluding to, like, what they've done to me, right? And I told before they went ghost on me, I'm like, yo, one, that's not my character to do that. Two, you're scared that I'm going to do that because you've actually done it to me, even though you said you ain't never did nothing to me. These people are completely delusional at this point. So much so, I'm under the belief now that they actually believe the lies they telling themselves about you, even though they have no evidence to back it up. Because I guess the way the brain or maybe the spiritual component in relation to mental health is set up, if they actually truly, well, I think they know the truth, they just don't let it set in. That's why they don't deal with it. What they would actually feel terrible about the lengths they've gone to in an attempt to destroy you when they know you haven't done anything that would garner that type of response. So in light of, the deja vu and then that epiphany, and, you know what I mean, just certain other things as far as um, a further or a greater level of submission and application, like I do what I do and then I leave it alone. Like I'm not necessarily tied to the outcome. Of course, I would like to see certain things happen for the sake of me, mine's, community, XYZ, but it may not be as well. And it seemed like he's not telling me what to do so that I'm kind of quote unquote forced into a greater level of faith. Just like the situation that got me here and, what I was able to do after that came through a vehicle that I said I never wanted to do in a place I said I never wanted to be at and end up being great at it because of the journey and the path he had laid out beforehand, which created skill sets I didn't even know I needed for a job or certain things that I didn't even want to do, let me tell it. So I'm just operating in faith, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and as we move forward, just like I was thinking too, right? Okay, we all should practically prepare for what we believe to be coming, right? But there's no way to actually prepare because you don't know how it's coming. Like, let's say you can, store up a bunch of food or whatever, but then you get hit by a hurricane. That's out the window. You know what I'm saying? Or you can have, like, what they say, like, these bug out locations, but if traffic all jammed up, you can't get there. You see what I'm saying? And even in, like, my current situation, I'm being upheld by the righteousness of his right hand, not my own efforts. Even though I put forth the effort, I don't think he's allowing my efforts to sustain me to a degree because then I'd be leaning on my own wisdom and understanding, which will actually be detrimental as we move forward. You know what I mean? Look, okay, we in whatever type of SHTF situation, and now I'm just going in my mind instead of being more sensitive to the leading of the spirit on how to move. Now I think I know everything, which, I do think I'm smart, but I ain't no smarter than most are, and I can't outsmart the system. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't reason with the adversary. I can only live by the word, which is supposed to be a light unto our feet and a guide. Forgive me if I'm getting that misconstrued, unto our path. So that's the space I'm in, and I'm cool with it. But a certain amount of the anxiety or whatever, from my understanding, come because I'm doing it to a newer level, and because I've never done it before, it feels uncomfortable, even though I know it's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Word up. It's real out here, but yeah, just a little quick jump, you know what I mean? And I'll probably just hop on here and just ramble a little bit, because I got not a whole bunch, but I got some time to kill. And see whatever just random thoughts come to my mind, just about, a lot of time it be the state of the world, because I'm very, and I am very introspective, right? And I'm very observative. But I'm also under this belief that, you know, understanding the power we have and understanding how powerless we are, and kind of pulling back, or not trying to hammer home what my agenda or whatever the case may be, I've actually gained my power back and gotten more done and gotten better results. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, my thing is, and we all, well, I'll speak for myself, I fall into it where uh, I want to see certain things happen. So I try to facilitate that. Um, but seemingly it doesn't go according to plan, or I don't get the desired outcome. You know what I mean? But when I've kind of just, as brother intuited, let go and let God and just do what's practical and not be tied to the outcome, everything done worked out. Whether it be financially. Now I do want to hit the greater whoop de whoop, right? But every time I need some money, I magically got it. Or, something come through, or you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not scrambling and I'm not scrambling around like Lamar Jackson here. There's no need to. You know what I mean? Now I do work hard, and you know what I'm saying? But it's a flow to it. It's a flow Joe to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll have a whole bunch to do and I'll break off, take a nap. And by the end of the day, I done got it all done. You know what I'm saying? Before I, fly out the door, whatever time I get up, like I pray first, and I've been more conscious to read my word um before I leave out the house. You know what I'm saying? Not in a legalistic or ritualistic kind of thing. But let me put this first before I put a whole bunch of tasks. You know what I'm saying? And if me doing that puts me behind schedule on my tasks, and so be it. But then at the end of the day, when I come back home, mission complete. You understand me? I'm starting to see like a greater level of the word applied in practicality. You know what I mean? Like we'll read these verses about um let's say I don't know, uh seek ye first the kingdom of Yah and all righteousness, and all else will be added unto you, right? So as I've been attempting to do that on a day-to-day basis, all else has been added unto me. Now, of course, this me applying this in application is newer, right? I always known the verse, but like I said, like I'll know something, but then it takes me a second for me to actually put into practice what I know. But in that, all that has happened. Like I'm seeing now, without interjecting religion and all that, the verses of the word that he's leading me to operate in actually work. You know what I'm saying? Him upholding me, with the righteousness right hand, not just financially, and I ain't got no job, right? Um, but also spiritually, mentally. You know what I mean? The average person with my background, I don't know a whole lot of them who operate the way I do. Not just, in functionality, but I'm talking about mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You know what I mean? And transparency. You know what I'm saying? And I still got the same feng shui. In season, out of season. You know what I mean? And ultimately, for whatever's coming, we can't outsmart it. We can't um like I'm saying this thing about us trying to come together, right? Maybe your family, maybe community, or your circle of influence, right? But in mass, I don't think we can just hop on here, get together, and do it. Even though we're saying we're doing it for the purposes of God and all that. I got another question too, yo. Like just like let's say, you know, come you like I'm like, okay, the word, right? But let's say he tells Jeremiah something, right? And then we'll read that verse, right? That don't necessarily mean that what he told Jeremiah apply to me. So now I'm getting into more context, because we'll like, make these blanket and think it applies to everything and everybody at every time. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find an example here. Um, Like when they say, gather, and I'm not saying it's the case, I'm just using an example. When it says, gather ye selves together, O nation not desired. But every time we've attempted to gather ourselves together, it hasn't worked. So when, and I don't even know what that verse is, I know it's in there. Was he talking to the people of that time? Or was that a prophet or whoever speaking to us in the latter time? Like now I'm getting into this whole context thing. Because like if I'm on a job or something, just because I tell somebody to do something on the job today doesn't mean it applies to somebody else tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'm just coming, you know what I mean? So I done kind of wiped the board clean. Or here's one that I was thinking about too, when it says like, if you're not like, and again paraphrasing, if you're not like a little kid, you won't inherit the kingdom. So I'm thinking like, because I seen little kids running around yesterday, but I'm like, oh okay, like little kids don't be worrying about what they gonna eat or like how the bills gonna get paid. They don't stress about that. They don't know nothing about that. They just somehow believe without a whole bunch of thought process that when they wake up, there's gonna be something to eat. Or I was also thinking like the situation where like let's say a kid got an absentee father, but he keep telling him he gonna come get him, but he don't though. You know what I'm saying? But the kid, every time he say he gonna do it though, even though he hasn't done it, the kid is still hopeful that this time will be the time that he come get me. You know what I'm saying? Like he might remember, but he not hope. He like, but he gonna come get me this time though. You know what I'm saying? Like that blind hope, that blind faith, that blind optimism. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what it means. So I'm trying to be a little kid like now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even worried about it. And then like let's say I know there's, childhood traumas and things like that. But in the time of the childhood trauma, which I didn't really experience a whole lot of that, maybe other than just living in isolation, but that's not traumatic to me. But we don't really delve into that stuff till we get older. But in the real time of the child, don't they like kind of just wipe the slate clean? Like to a certain degree, you could do a child super bad, but they'll still be loving though, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll still hold a certain innocence. Even though their parents might be whatever or they get bullied, they still hold a certain innocence. It's not till they get older and maybe become more self-aware of the world or the imposition of the world that they may start to grow colder or behaviorally act out or whatever the case may be. But I think, kids are more forgiving. Kids don't necessarily hold a record of wrongs. You know what I mean? Kids want to help. Kids aren't thinking along the lines that, or overly thinking that you're gonna hurt them. You know what I'm saying? Kids just believe. You know what I'm saying? And on that note, man, I'm gonna holler at y'all. Just believe, baby. Whoa!